Welcome back to the Spotlight Games podcast for episode 184. Today, we have a thick news feed to get through. We got maybe the worst state of play that's ever happened to talk about. We have GTA 6 delayed. A bunch of other shit has gone wrong. PlayStation Portal got a beefy update. We have lots of news to discuss. I'm your host, Patrick, and joining me this week, not my sweet dumpster boy. He wasn't feeling very well today, so we called on the homie, Jake Twitchin. Jake, how we doing?
I'm doing so well. I'm here to spread some bad vibes and negativity with you.
I love that. We're at an age now, I think, where I'm about to be like a curmudgeonly old man. Like I can feel it coming at every point, and I'm kind of just like, let's just lean in.
Yeah.
Don't sit back, but rather lean in. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Jake,
absolutely, I do.
I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up in the pre-show when we weren't live.
Mm-hmm.
You were throwing back a piece of pizza,
Brother. I was throwing back more than a piece of pizza. Yeah? I was in there, speed eating.
Yeah. What were we working with?
Two slices down, and maybe a handful of those Parmesan bread bites from old Domino's.
A little Parmesan.
And let me tell you, we had a little stuffed crust from Domino's, which is one of their new things that they got going on right now. And I've had some stuffed crusts in my day that were great. I've had some that were subpar. I'm pleased to tell you that this one was great.
Whoa,
it was creamy and liquidy. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you get in there and it's a little too mozzarella stick based, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't have that pull.
To you, what makes a stuffed crust great?
It's all consistency.
It's just okay.
The second, it's the second that it starts to like come down to room temperature, or if you get it and it's just not baked all the way through, or it's not a good cheese, you're fucked.
Sure. Coal Mine's saying stuffed crust doesn't hit the same as it did in the shitty cafeteria pizza. That is a pizza I haven't thought about in an age, Jake.
You guys had stuffed crust in your cafeteria?
The little square piece, the little rectangle piece, maybe with a little stuffed crust in there.
There was stuffed crust on that?
Sometimes, not all the time. I was a bring your lunch kit every day for the most part, but then I would have like FOMO of, you know, like, I want chicken finger Friday. Mom, can I have $3 or whatever?
Right.
And then every time.
Oh my God.
No, the three meals that I would often get at school. Chicken finger Friday, but not often, because there was a point in which the chicken fingers became really shitty. But nachos, when they would do nachos, those were always really good. And we had these things called Crispitos. It was basically like a taquito, but for some reason they called them Crispitos. And it was these like, and often those would also be served with the nachos, but not all the time. And they were so fucking good. I'd throw back some fucking Crispitos.
I could throw down a ton of those motherfuckers. That'd be great.
Were you a buy your lunch at school kid?
Yeah, I've been on record talking about my school lunch many times because I think of it so fondly, where my cafeteria had 4 distinct lines that you could go down.
Wow.
And one of them was like whatever the meal of the day was. Like sometimes it was shepherd's pie or meatloaf or whatever. And then it always had pizza in that line too. Okay. And then the second line had hamburger, cheeseburger, double cheeseburger, barbecue rib sandwich, chicken sandwich, grilled chicken sandwich, crispy chicken sandwich, all like on like a hot bar within like fries or onion rings or tots that you can grab. Then third line is like basically a Subway. When you point and you go, I want that and that and that, and they'll make you a wrap or a sub. And then the fourth line was like a little cart that had like pastries and baked goods like bagels and stuff like that, or snacks like bags of chips and drinks.
I didn't realize that you were the president's son. Jesus.
Yeah, I know.
Did you go to school in Washington, D.C.?
No, I went to school in what is widely considered the worst city in Maine, which is also widely considered the worst state in the country.
Really? People consider Maine the worst state in the country?
No, just me.
Sure. Okay. I was like, I feel like Maine is a pretty sought after state.
Yeah, it's becoming more and more sought after. I think when you're a kid, you don't appreciate it, and then as you get older, it's like, it's a little quaint around here.
Sure. I would say
We like quaint.
something in the chat for knee jerk reaction. What do you think is the worst state? I feel like something in the South. Excuse me, got something in my throat. I feel like normally like a Mississippi type is often what gets brought up as the worst state. Lately, Florida gets a lot of shit.
Florida gets a lot of shit. I mean, there's the old Jersey being the armpit. I
Sure,
think is a
sure.
time honored tradition, but I like Jersey quite a bit. I think the Dakotas really suck.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think those are pretty bad ones. Um,
Huh.
I
Makes
don't
you
know.
think.
Yeah,
Ooh, Swanky, fuck Wyoming. I can get behind that.
for sure.
Well, Jake, we have a lot of video game stuff to talk about because this is the Spotlight Games podcast where each week we spotlight the latest and the greatest in the world of video games. You can get it by subscribing to our YouTube channel at Spotlight Games Pod or by searching for Spotlight Games in your favorite podcast app. And hey, you can be on the show by tuning in as we record live Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time right here on twitch.tv/Spotlight Games Pod, just like Coal Mines, Sears Shard, Squanky Joinkers, High Score Weekly, Cognitive Clips. Be like them. Follow us on Twitch so that you're notified when we go live so you can be part of the conversation. Quick housekeeping before we jump into the show. You and I last night recorded a Luminous review, Luminous Arise. We got early copies from Enhance. We put our thoughts on paper, talked about it, and that's over on youtube.com/drop and drop out pod. Our review, spoilers, we're going to talk about it here in a second and what we've been playing, but game fucking rules. But go listen to our review coverage. And then also later this week on Drop In, Drop Out, we're doing some Game Awards content. Game Awards are right around the corner. And it seems like now that it's Tuesday, we're not getting nominees this week. So we're going to be predicting the announcements at the Game Awards. Are we going to see The Last of Us Part 3? Are we going to see Halo 7? We're going to put pen to paper on what we think Jeff Keighley has up that Canadian sleeve of his. And then also on the channel, over on JK Games in the Dido umbrella, they just covered episodes 5 and 6 of Dispatch. If you've been around the last few weeks, myself and Cayman were doing review coverage. That died. So now all of our Dispatch coverage is over on JK Games for the Video Game Book Club. And they have the finale coming up this Monday of the last 2 episodes, which drop tomorrow for anybody playing Dispatch. Jake, is there anything happening in your world you want to talk about real fast before we jump into what we're playing?
No.
Great. Hell yeah. Well, because I am the one hosting and I don't forget, we do start these episodes with what we've been playing.
Right.
And that is a dig, Jake.
Yeah.
So Jake, I kick to you as the short stream bandit. You play a little of a lot and a lot of a little. What have you been playing that you want to talk about here tonight on the Spotlight Games podcast?
Do we go Luminous Arise?
Let's just talk about let's talk about Luminous Arise.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 puzzle game of the year. One of the best puzzle formats is now in its finest form.
Yeah.
I guess is the short version of that.
Easy.
The hour-long conversation that we have on it, we were like, we would do like a tight 15 to 30 minutes, and we just yapped about that game for almost a full hour.
Yeah.
Because it's awesome.
It's so fucking good. We talk a little bit about in the review how this is kind of my first proper Luminous game. And I purposefully didn't play it today because I knew if I sat down to play it, I would get sucked in. And I was like, I want to play through Dispatch one more time, the most recent episodes before tomorrow. I also can't stop playing fucking Hades too, but I was like, okay, I will revisit Luminous Arise because it's so fucking fun.
Yeah.
Squanky says, hold Jake to saying it's better than Blueprints. Did you say this?
It's tough. Well, I just said it's the best puzzle game of the year, which, depending on how you look at it, there's such different puzzle games. Like, one's like an action puzzle game, and one's like a deductive. I don't know how to put it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't make me choose between them.
Would I call Blueprints a puzzle game? I mean, I guess so much of it is puzzles.
It's a mystery game.
Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting to me. I definitely don't think it's better than Blueprints. But regardless.
It's a puzzle adventure game with strategy, puzzle, and roguelike elements.
Okay. Well, then this is the second best puzzle game of the year, according to Patrick. Look it. Look it, brother. How did your stream of Luminous Rise goes today?
Good. I was thinking when I started it up that I only went about halfway through that game before we reviewed it because I know that the only thing waiting on me, the other end of that was just like more songs. But I experienced 90% of that game, even only by playing 50%. Oh, dude. Okay. Now, you haven't finished the game, correct?
No, I have, I think, one area of the journey left.
The fucking ending.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I can't
It's so
wait.
sick. So I hopped in, and today when I started the stream, I prefaced it. I was like, we're just going to play through the first half of this game because I think the other half should be like some random night at 2 a.m. because it's one of those like late night vibey, get into a trance kind of games.
Sure.
And I couldn't stop. We got in there and I started crushing it. And I was also playing the best Luminous of my life. And a bunch of the devs were in there for the stream as well, which was really cool. And they were shooting some tips and giving us some like, inside information on the artists and the production. And there's really cool
bummed
stuff.
I didn't stick around. That sounds fun.
Oh my God, dude. It's really cool. There's like little Easter eggs too. Like if you don't know Luminous, you build basically like squares of similar looking or same looking panels so that you can eliminate them from your board so you can continue, getting points, etc. And you start off with like a 2x2, a square of 4. However, as you build those out in each level, what I've learned is that there's like Easter eggs depending on how many you build. So I ended up with like a 4x4 on one of them, and it was like a car, and the car drove off to the side. And then I was trying really hard to get like this 6x6 they recommended because there was like a secret like snowman or something when you do that. But yeah, there's cool stuff in there.
Yeah, something that we kind of touched on a little bit in the review, but I kind of purposely didn't want to get too into it, was that like there's one with windows that I was thinking of where like the more squares you get, like the bigger the window is, but then it'll like open and close and shit. And it's just like I love the little details that they've added into this game that kind of elevates it in a way from Tetris Effect, which is very fun.
Yeah.
Do you think this is going to be actual game of the year contender for you, or just like in the top 10?
I think it'll be in the top 10. It's going to end up being like my 7th favorite game of the year type of thing.
Sure.
Where it's just in the nature of like the kind of game that it is. It's tough to put it up there, but who knows with me? I'm a puzzle legend these days. I had a big Suika game era. I'm in a Tetris 99 era right now. Luminous is here, and I'm playing a lot of that. So it's tough. Like retroactively, if you ask me what my like game of the year 1988 is, I'll tell you Tetris.
Sure. Have you told
knows?
your audience about your big puzzle plans yet?
I don't remember what they are. Please tell me.
You were gonna stream you putting together a 10,000 piece puzzle, shirtless.
Oh, that's a really good idea. Yes, absolutely. And actually, only only moving pieces with my nipples.
I mean, that could be something. Speaking of though, actually, it's November. It's mid-November, and we never did this.
I know. And that game was such a disappointment to audio listeners. We're talking about the Fast and Furious arcade game, and we're talking about a Lego set of Suki's, what is it, Honda?
Honda S2000, right? Yeah.
That sounds right.
Fucking knew it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Anything else you've been playing you want to talk about?
I'm back on Animal Crossing, dude.
Oh, that's
in like a pretty big way.
Yeah?
Yeah. I had ruined my island pretty bad where like I was grinding that game like everybody else for a long time. When I hit the end game and I got terraforming, I just ruined everything. Like the natural flow of my island was leveled and I tried to make it all like water based, and I was like, I need to fix my island.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for this 3.0 update coming January 15th. But my thought was like, if I get excited for that and then I get there and the first thing I see is like an island I don't love and a mountain of work ahead of myself to start enjoying it again, then I'm going to fall off really fast. So I was like, let me use this time to get on top of it, to fix my island. And I've been doing like these little streams twice a week where I just hop on and kick it with chat. It's super, I get the cozy game thing a little bit. I get it.
Yeah. I would love to do a messy pod you and me, and if there's anyone else in Dido that wants to do it, where we go to each other's island and
Yeah,
reminisce about COVID.
I think that'd be great.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have
Yeah.
to be reminiscing about COVID, but there
What's,
should be like
what's your favorite side effects?
yeah, exactly. How many doses of the vaccine have you taken?
Right. Are you boosted up or not?
Yeah. But because I that was pre-content days for me because we started doing this show in fall 2021. So the world has never seen
Yeah.
my island, and it's a pretty cool island, as a lot of people probably say about their islands. But
Who's your favorite villager?
you know, I don't know that I have one, which might be blasphemy. But like I was always fond of that little like asshole cat, but I never actually had him on my island.
Mm-hmm.
And there was never really one on my island that I like really got attached to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have one.
I got this pair. I ended up in my random, like in my first, they just like shove 10 villagers into your island within the first couple days of living there or whatever. I ended up with both Tammy and Tammy with an I and Tammy with a Y.
Wow.
And they are my favorite because they live together. They are in love and gay.
Yeah.
And they live in the Northwest, and they live in front of a pond that is in the shape of a T for Tammy.
Whoa.
And they have separate houses, but combined yard. They're perfect.
Lake Tammy.
Mm-hmm.
How about that? Okay.
Yeah.
I can fuck with that. I don't know that it's very interesting for me to talk about Hades 2 more because I can't stop playing this game, Jake. But I am curious because you fell off pretty hard on the Hades 2 train. At one point, you said it was your game of the year. Do you still feel like that, or do you feel like that allure left your eyes?
It's up there.
It's up there.
It is one of the 3 games that is in like a flux right now of consideration for first place.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty tight race.
Yeah. Do you think there's a chance that anything the rest of the year dethrones that for you?
No, I don't think. I think everything coming out in the future is spoken for. You know what I mean? Like I don't think there's no more bangers coming out this year, right? Call of Duty is on Thursday. That's not going to be on there.
Yeah, some people would say Metroid.
Metroid. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
There's
expect
something else
that
in
to,
December that's a hot ticket.
I mean, I would love to be surprised by that, but I personally am not expecting that to change my worldview, but it'd be pretty cool if it did.
Kirby Air Riders.
Oh yeah, that's right. I missed that demo. I'm pissed that I missed
I fucking played it. We should talk about that real quick.
Yeah, what do you think?
I had a hard time in that game, man.
Yeah.
Very overwhelming. The problem that I had with it was, so the tutorial is great, the menu system is great, the presentation is to the nines, it is all very, very impressive and competent. And then doing the races is great when you're just going around in a circle and you choose a track and you do a lap or two. Phenomenal. And then when you get into that city trial mode, which is the real meat of that game, it is the most overwhelming multiplayer video game that I've ever played in my life.
Really?
And maybe I didn't give it enough time or like that fair of a shake, but it was so difficult to know what was going on or where I was supposed to be or what was happening. Somebody in my chat was like, this feels more like a game of pinball where you have no control over anything than it does like a racing game, which it meant that thing went from like, I'm picking up that game on day one to, they let me preview it and I decided I don't know if I'm getting this anymore.
Damn, that's
the
kiss of death right there.
I know.
That's
it's
not
bad.
good. I think
I
I'm
do
gonna
have
to
one
go
last submission
watch
for
those streams of yours because I was planning on buying it and now I'm afraid to.
I'd recommend checking it out. The other game that's coming out that might have a shot would be Marvel Cosmic Invasion.
Oh, sure.
In December. That's the one I was thinking of.
Should we stream that together? Co-op playthrough?
I think we should. I think we should get at least me and you and then 2 more. Can we get a 4 stack,
Oh, easy.
I think that makes sense.
I think we can get a 4 stack for sure.
I call Wolverine bub.
Fuck. I don't even know. Who are all the playable characters? This is a great segue into our first
They're pretty good. Like Venom is in there for sure. Captain America's in there for sure. Spider-Man's in there for sure.
15.
After that,
heroes.
Rocket Raccoon. Yeah, Rocket Raccoon, I remember, was announced. There's some weirdos too. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
I got them.
Hell yeah.
Beta Ray Bill, Black Panther, Captain America, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Iron Man, Nova, Phoenix, Phi Lavelle, Rocket Raccoon, She-Hulk, She-Hulk, Silver Surfer, Spider-Man, Storm, Venom, Wolverine.
That is a crazy lineup to have 15 playable characters, and like 3 of them excite me.
Kind of, but I also feel like it's the kind of game where I hope they have some hidden characters and
I'm
not
sure they
just
do.
DLC packs. But I don't know. When I look at it, it's like its closest counterpart is probably like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, which doesn't have unlockable characters. They
Right.
nickel and dime you for like Splinter and Casey Jones and shit. So I don't know.
Well, still gotta play it, but hearing the full 15,
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed. But hey, who the fuck am I? Speaking of Marvel, how about our first news story of the day? Marvel apparently is very happy with Insomniac and is going to continue working with them for a while. I'm pulling from Video Games Chronicle. Is that VGC? Video Games Chronicle?
BGC. Yep.
Saying it out loud sounds weird to me instead of just saying VGC or saying the full thing. Anyway, this is from VGC. I'm not pulling the whole story, but essentially just to kind of kick us off here, they said, quote, "We've been working together for more than a decade and developed such a shorthand across multiple Marvel Spider-Man games that when the time finally came to bring Logan back in spectacular and visceral fashion, it was obvious to everyone on our team that Insomniac was the perfect choice. It was our shared culture and values that brought us together, and we're so proud to continue collaborating for many years to come." Essentially, the story here. It seems like after Wolverine, we're getting more from Insomniac. So I thought this was interesting in 2 ways. Of one, like, what other games would we hope for? There's obviously the rumors from the leak and things, which we can talk about. But then also, like, do we want Insomniac to just become a Marvel house? Is kind of the other version, like, side of the conversation I wanted to have. So let's start there before we pontificate about the future. Jake, how do you feel about this kind of locking in Insomniac for Marvel for quite some time?
I think in the long run, I'm okay with it because the first thing is like this is all through the lens of protecting my precious Ratchet and Clank, which is truly one of my favorite franchises of all time.
Yeah.
And I feel like in a world of Sonic games being hit or miss and Mario games being few and far between and Jak and Daxter and Sly Cooper being gone, we're lucky to have the amount of Ratchet that we get,
Sure.
even if there was only a remake on PS4 and one game on PS5. But the PS2, PS3 era, Ratchet and Clank fans have eaten better than most for platforming genre games. And if they're doing the kind of like one for us, one for you type of deal, where we still get to make our Ratchet and Clank once every decade,
Sure.
in return, we'll pump out as much Marvel stuff for you as you'd want. I'm in. As a necessary evil.
Do you think though that they're gonna keep doing because right now we're going to be on a back-to-back for them thing of Spider-Man 2 and then now Wolverine. Do you think we go back to a Ratchet type after this, or do you think we're kind of in the Marvel world for maybe a couple more and then they dip back into their own IP?
Yeah. We're in a weird spot right now because leak-wise, there's really weird stuff. I think if I have it correctly, nobody correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to know. I want to live in ignorance.
Great.
But we were supposed to get a Venom game last year, which at this point means that game is probably canceled.
Most likely. I think there is still a chance that it exists, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's canceled.
Yeah, I think for it to be the pseudo sequel that it was supposed to be, and like if it's the Miles Morales to the Spider-Man 1, then Spider-Man 2 and Venom kind of share that same DNA,
Yeah.
then it has taken too long for this to happen. And I mean, you can chalk it up to the leak probably if that's the case. Like, okay, we need to kind of like re-strategize and change the order of things coming out, perhaps. But it looks like it was going to be Venom, then Spider-Man 3, and then questionably Spider-Man 3 potentially being split into 2 parts, I had heard rumblings of, and then a Spider-Gwen spinoff. So like they're idea basically was post Rift Apart to do 4, potentially 5 Spider-Man games in a row, or Marvel games in a row, including Wolverine, including Venom,
Yeah.
and then 3 Spider-Man titles, which is insane. But
That
then
is crazy.
on the horizon, in the early 2030s, God, that hurts to say, there is another Ratchet and Clank slated as well.
Oh, is there? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think are the chances that with Wolverine, because I do think that it is possible that Venom has been canceled, but I also think that it could be that they're like, okay, pump the brakes on Venom. Let's deal with the leak, the security things that come with that, and Wolverine, because we got to get Wolverine out the door as fast as possible. And then finish up Venom, get that out next year in 27 or 26 rather.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's a world in which we could still see Venom, or do you think it's more likely that they are just, because depending on how far in, I mean, to cancel that of something that is a pretty known quantity, most likely will be successful. I'd be surprised for them to cut and run by getting off track by a couple months.
Yeah, the question becomes like behind the scenes, what happened with Venom? Because basically it's 2 separate teams. The team that's making Venom is the team that did Spider-Man 2, and the team that's making Wolverine is not the team that made Spider-Man 2 or Venom or Miles Morales or Spider-Man.
Okay.
Like that, they have
So is it the Rift Apart team or is it a different team?
It might be the Rift Apart team. I'm not actually positive what team did Rift Apart either. But I know that they are a 2-game studio at this point, as far as like what they're working on, probably even more at this point, because they're obviously run very well, and they have the golden ticket right now with all that Marvel money pouring in. Even though those games don't make as much money for Sony as some of their competitors do, because of how much they have to pay Disney to use these characters, they're still absolute cash cows and system sellers. So the thing is that Wolverine is now 2026. Like, we got a date for it when it was re-released. Not a concrete date, but it's 2026. So I don't think there's room for Venom and Wolverine in 2026, which at that point, Venom is now a 2027 game. I think at that point, we're looking at Spider-Man 3 trailers, even.
Sure. Yeah, I'm so interested to see if those games touch it all. If Spider-Man is in Wolverine, or if Venom is. I mean, if Venom is in Wolverine, I think it's a lock that we're getting a Venom game. But
I believe they are. I want to say that they are, and I do know that the other thing that's supposed to happen post that Ratchet and Clank in the 2030s is that specifically that Wolverine team is moving to an X-Men game.
Ah, that's right.
Yep. Which makes sense. The cover art for these 2 things, like, they are in the same universe. 100%. If you look at the covers next to each other, they are. There's no doubt about it that these is like, oh, man, give me that Captain America game in the blue. Give me that fucking Iron Man in the red and yellow. Like, I want the whole squad over there.
Yeah. I think, anybody that's arguing that this won't be in the same universe, let's remember this is Marvel. And they're going to do whatever they fucking can to have things connected.
For sure.
I mean, they put the PS5 Spider-Man suit in the fucking animated movie. Like, they want as much crossover as they can fucking possibly get. So I'm sure we'll do that. So then part 2 is, we touched on it a little bit, but do you have any like hopes or dreams of a Marvel project that they would do? I mean, here, having X-Men be a rumor is very exciting for me, because X-Men's always been my favorite. But are there any others that you think like, ooh, I really want a fucking
I've always wanted Silver Surfer's inspired Nightcrawler, dude.
Ooh,
Nightcrawler specifically in that X-Men. There's a game called X-Men: The Official Game, which is loosely the X-Men 3 movie tie-in. And the 360 version in particular is different than like the previous generation versions. And it has 3 playable characters. You play as Iceman, you play as Wolverine, you play as Nightcrawler. And the Nightcrawler sections in that game are so sick. And the whole thing takes place. It's actually kind of cool. That game is like a 6 out of 10. Let me, by the way, I'm about to talk to you about it like it's the best thing in the world. But I love it. And the Nightcrawler sections in that game are sort of inspired because they take place in between X-Men 2 and 3, and they explain why Nightcrawler is not in X-Men 3.
That's
It's like the
right.
side backstory. So it bridges the gap between those two movie films. And I think a Nightcrawler game would be very cool because I could see with like modern technology and fighting systems, the combat being so fucking cool with like the teleportation and him just poofing into smoke and then popping back out and attacking people. Like, I think that there could be some really cool shit with Nightcrawler, man.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And look, we already know Alan Cumming is reprising his role as Nightcrawler in the next whatever the fuck Avengers movie they're doing. Get him in the booth, Insomniac. Get him in the fucking booth. I totally forgot about that. I've definitely played that X-Men game with the Nightcrawler shit. Nightcrawler would be very cool. I also think there's always been like ideas and hopes and dreams for a Daredevil game. And I do think that a Daredevil game would be cool and fun. And it would be a fun like challenge because, you know, you can't just have it be a game in darkness. But like what creative thing could you do to have you feel like Daredevil in a video game? I think could be pretty fun. And fucking with the way video games can be these days, go the fucking Dave the Diver route. Be a lawyer in the day, Daredevil at night. Have a little 2-game package in one. Could be pretty cool. Coal Mines in the chat says it'd be hard to pull off, but a Moon Knight game would be fun. Moon Knight could be cool.
Do you hear Oscar Isaac, dude?
Oh, he was like, I don't want to do it anymore.
He was like, I'm not too keen on working with Disney anymore. Just straight up Marvel
Disney.
or Star Wars.
I mean,
yeah, it's really cool. And on business, I fear.
I mean, when you're that hot, you can say actually whatever you want. Correct. Another company that says whatever the fuck they want, Rockstar. In fact, GTA 6 delayed again, Jake. We got a date of November 19th this time from May, whatever the fuck it was. 26th, maybe? Doesn't matter. It's November 19th now. Do you think it's coming next year, Jake?
Do you? Let me ask you.
Yeah.
If you think it's coming, because I would love to take. I don't fall on one side. So if you feel firmly, I would love to take the alternate and then make some kind of bet out of it.
Sure. I think it's like 60-40 not coming for me. Where like I think I can definitely see it still hitting because now this is the second delay. So we are now in charted territory where Rockstar has done 2 official delays of this video game. Very well could be that that's the last delay. They've also done 3 in the past. So like there is room for one more, but I think if they were to do one more, that would be the last one. And I wonder if one more would be like January of like, we just need just like a little bit more time because it's just a little bit too buggy. But then again, like, I mean, going from May to November, so, you know, some people online have been like, oh, this game is probably fucked. It's not fucked. A 5-month delay, 6-month delay is most likely just for bugs and polish. So then it's like, that's why I'm all the way up at like 40 of like maybe even almost 50-50 of like maybe November 19th is the actual day, because I feel like if it's actually in trouble, they need more than just 6 months added on. What do you think?
I think now that I think about it, I don't want to bet against you anymore because I don't think that game comes out in 2026 now. And I think I was pretty like firm on it coming out in May. But the more that I think about it, the more that I think of how unbelievably large in scale this game is. I mean, it's the biggest budget of all time. It's might be the longest development cycle, like active development cycle of all time. In like for like AAA titles, I mean, there's been things that are like in development hell that fall in and out of actual development, but this is a game that I'm pretty sure if they need to take an extra year, you're talking about like that's only like an extra 7% of the time that this game has been worked on, you know? And when you have that much riding on it, there's that much money invested on it, the last thing you want to do is botch a fucking launch.
Yeah.
And my guess with all of this stuff is that they want to make sure. In the past, GTA rolled out consoles first, single player only. then on consoles with online, and then PC version. My guess is that they want to launch on consoles with online day one. They want to take that GTA hype that they have on day one for the biggest game ever and get their existing player base that plays GTA 5 daily still, which is quite literally millions of people, to hop onto GTA 6 immediately. And I think that they're going to do everything in their power to make sure that is a flawless experience for all of those people that are doing it regularly and newcomers.
I don't think that's true. I
No,
think
where do
this
you think it's
game
going to go?
still launches a mess. Like
Oh,
but it'll still be good enough to review incredibly well. It'll still break every sales record that exists, but I will be shocked if this game comes out and online works well or online's even there. But here's what I will say. If this game does get another delay past November 26th and it doesn't launch with the online, that's fucked. Like
yeah.
if you push it 2 years and it's still only single player, that's crazy.
I think they're going to get it. I think they're going to get it. And I think that that game is going to have a smoother launch than people think. I feel like that's the priority because we have just seen this thing so many times in these past, like in the past 5 years specifically, so many games have shipped undercooked, man, underbaked, underdeveloped, not ready to go, and just failed before they had the chance to grow. And what GTA Online has proven to be is a fucking cash cow. That thing prints money and has an unbelievable staying power that is like
Sure.
so unexpected from a Grand Theft Auto game. Like even unheard of with like Grand Theft Auto 4, I think is kind of like a weaker entry. But when you think about like GTA 3 and San Andreas and uh, Vice City, those games were replaced by one another so quickly, so sequentially that you kind of think of them as like a whole more
Sure.
than different entries. And I mean, they're not numbered, so you could argue that that is the case. But with this, I feel like they are not going to miss their mark at all on making sure that this is absolutely perfect.
I don't think so. I think and the reason I think that is because I don't think it'll be like forever broken, obviously. And but I think it's going to be something more than a couple days and less than like considerably broken, if that makes sense. Of like we need at least like a
Mm,
month to iron shit out. And people are having issues and servers are always fucked, whatever. Because
sure.
I think this game is going to still be bigger than whatever their projections are. Even if they have
Yeah.
like three versions of like, okay, this is what we hope for, this is good, this is great, it's going to be better than great, like whatever, it's going to crush their expectations. And I just
Ooh,
don't see them succeeding in that way with that many fucking people.
it's a tall order,
Yeah.
but the only counter that I have to that is that if any team can do it, it's the team that has had 12 years to do so with unlimited budget. You know, there's no
Sure.
shortage. There's no shortage of people working. It's all hands on deck. And it seems like if they need time, they're getting time, which
Sure.
is a good indicator.
Sure.
I got a prediction for you
Yeah.
that no one's making.
Yeah.
And this is one with a very quick turnaround as far as gratification goes. You ready
Okay,
for my guess?
let's hear it.
Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer 3 in the next 48 hours.
Whoa. This
Last
week.
week, if it wasn't, yeah, last week, if it wasn't for this state of play and this Nintendo Direct, I would have said today on Tuesday because that's the exact turnaround that it was last time. There was a delay via Take-Two call on a Friday. And then on a Tuesday, 4 days later, 5 days later, they dropped trailer 2
I remember
to
this
get
now.
that bad taste out of everybody's mouth.
It's all coming
That's
back to
the
me.
exact, yeah, that's the exact thing that they did the last time that this happened, which was only like 5 months ago, 6 months ago.
Do
So I
you
feel like
think
that could be happening again.
there's a world in which, because we're supposed to be getting the Game Awards announcements pretty soon, probably early next week, do you think there's a world in which instead of a trailer, they some kind of a teaser to say like, see Grand Theft Auto 6 online at the Game Awards? Like they don't need the Game Awards obviously, but it's also the biggest thing in video games. It gets like 15% growth every year. That's the kind of shit that a company like Rockstar will like. Do you think there's a chance of something like that?
No, Keeley would cream his fucking jorts if that was the opportunity.
Sure.
Like he needs them more than Rockstar needs him. His paltry little
Well,
show.
sure.
You know,
Oh, his paltry little
I
show
think
that streams to 95 million people.
yeah, 95 million people, but I think GTA still, I mean, I don't know, I don't have numbers off the top of my head, but I'm assuming that fucking trailer is at astronomical
Yeah, let's see.
views. Um yeah, pull up what those two GTA trailers are pushing for views right now because I'm pretty sure it's absolutely insane. But no, I don't think so. I think Keeley wishes so, but it's one of those things where there's two types of trailers that premiere at the Game Awards. There's ones that were begged for and given to Jeff as a treat. Be like, here's our special thing that we'll show off at your show because we like you. And then there's ones that you pay to get in. And
Sure.
GTA is one of the ones where they say, if we want to crash your fucking party, then we're going to have the headline act. But I don't think Take Two
No,
gives a
that's fair.
shit to participate.
The two trailers of Grand Theft Auto 6 have combined for 407.6 million views only on YouTube. That
Yeah,
doesn't take into
dude.
consideration socials and
That's yeah, and
X2,
reposts and fucking
Pornhub,
how
homegrown
much does
clips
the
and stuff.
IGN
Yeah,
re-upload of that have? Game trailers re-upload of that have? It's billions of views.
yeah,
Fucking insane.
fucking insane.
We
I
should start
just
a
hope.
GTA 6 show.
I mean, I do it. I've always been very like. I've liked GTA my whole life, and I've played all of them, except like maybe the PSP one, perhaps. But even like I played the.
Chinatown Wars, bro.
I think I maybe didn't play Chinatown Wars, but I definitely played the first two on PC over the top in London.
Mm.
But it's never. I would never consider it anywhere close to my favorite franchise or one of my favorite franchises, but I do enjoy playing them every time. And I feel like I am probably in the majority of their audience of like, I'm gonna buy the game, I'm gonna play it for a while and really enjoy it, but I'm probably not gonna put any money into online. I'm probably not gonna do more than that. At best, maybe they get me to like buy a second copy on a different console because I'm really having fun and I want to play it on PC or whatever. But I just am so interested to see how this game sells because it's gonna fucking be such a juggernaut. Bringing in some of the chat before we move on to the next story. This chat seems to think that they're going to launch. This is coming from both Cold Mines and Swanky. That they're going to launch single player first and then multiplayer later. You seem to think that it's going to be all in one together.
Yeah, I just don't think they want to at this point that there's so much distance between them. I think that they want to make sure that they are not splitting their fans between two games. I don't think they have interest in making GTA Online that is part of like the existing GTA Online continue much further. I think that the party is meant to transition to GTA Online
Yeah,
via GTA 6. And having that weird wiggle room of like, well, the GTA 6 is out and I have it, but if I want to play online, I need to go back to GTA 5 on my Xbox fucking 360, by the way, the console that it launched on.
sure.
Still an option.
Wow, I didn't know that.
You know, fucking yeah, insane. You know, I don't think they want that to be an option. I think it's all hands on deck. Day fucking one. You want your GTA Online, you know where to come get it.
Yeah.
Stop.
My one thought to push back a little bit on you and the chat about it maybe not being at the Game Awards. Sierra's saying they don't need to partner with anybody because they're so fucking big. But then Swanky bringing up the union shit. Like they've been in the news in a bad way multiple times. I wonder if they would be interested in getting a nice fucking headline about being at the Game Awards to try to drown out the bad news. I don't know. Just thinking.
This studio was headed by Dan Hauser for 25 years. They don't give a fuck.
Sure. I mean, they still make all the fucking money in the world, so
Yeah, exactly.
we'll see. We'll see. Um, Jake, we have a bunch more news to get through, but I just went ahead and threw it all into the news spotlight for the rest of the show. Starting out, it's so funny because earlier today, a little over 3 hours ago now, what I thought was going to be the topic of the show was the state of play from Sony that was focused on Japanese developers, Japanese games for the Japanese audience. And I think we are aligned in that it was maybe one of the worst presentations that we have ever watched from Sony or any of the big companies. And it was pretty
Patrick,
fucking disappointing, Jake. Would you agree?
can I have you minimize the window that you have in front of you that has the list of all the games that were announced? And don't look
Yeah.
at it right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me the names of as many games as you can that were in that state of play.
Okay.
And you can't say the one with the fucking girl
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
picture
no,
frame.
only names. Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls.
Good one.
Pac-Man 2 repacked in my pussy or whatever.
Correct. That's exactly right.
How about Alex? Give me, give me fucking the new Katamari, which I guess it kind of doesn't. Half a point for the new Katamari.
Sure.
We got DLC.
Yeah,
for
DLC.
it. AI the Somnium Files, the bunny game.
Bunny.
How about? Yeah, that's kind of all I got, really.
I think I can get a couple more. I know there's Dynasty Warriors DLC, Origins DLC, which I had a long conversation about on stream when they used to do Extreme Legends and Empires and shit. Very cool. And then I remember Fatal Frame 2, and I remember that because I thought it was abysmal that they took that much time. And then the one that's actually like making some headlines and stuff, and one that I'd like to talk to you about actually is I forgot the subtitle. It's probably like The Frost Chair of Mourning. The Elden Ring DLC.
Oh, Night Rain DLC. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Damon and Baby. How did I
Damon
forget
and
Damon
Baby? You're right, dude.
DMB, W Damon, W Baby.
W Baby.
Yeah, just to go through it really quickly. Dragon Quest VII, Coffee Talk Tokyo, the Broken Lore games. Apparently that's a franchise. Gran Turismo 7's getting new shit. A Digimon thing, a Monster Hunter Wilds thing, Sonic Racing New Records. Spongy Bobby is coming to Sonic Crossworlds, which is very exciting. Octopath Traveler 0, and and 9 or 10 other things. Truly one of the weakest things I've ever watched.
Yeah. A long time ago, I had this idea. I wanted to do like a history of the PlayStation State of Play.
Yeah.
Because at the time when I was planning this, it was like there had only been like 18 shows throughout like the 5 years it had been running or something like that. And there was no Wikipedia article for it. So I was like pulling all the research myself, and I thought it would be cool to make the Wikipedia article along with this video essay. Great idea. That's no longer possible. The Wikipedia article exists now. But I would love to revisit that idea a little bit and go back and to try to decide maybe this could be an entire podcast on Spotlight or Dropout or something. When was the last banger State of Play? I'm going like 2022.
Yeah, it's been years at this point.
Maybe prior to that, because we were already like shitting on the PlayStation Showcase. Like it was 2022 that they put out like that one with Fair Games and Concord and shit like that.
The only, I think, great showcase, or not showcases, State of Plays that they've had have been incredibly subjective because it's been the ones about one game. Like I think about like in 2020 getting the 25 minutes on The Last of Us Part 2 or the 20 minutes on Ghost of Tsushima. Like those kinds of ones, if it's a game you're excited about, typically those are pretty good.
Borderlands 4.
Yeah, like exactly. But otherwise, like I think it's time to move on from State of Play. And like that sounds very like clickbaity. It sounds very like, oh, everybody in the games industry is so grumpy all the time. But it's like at this point, Squanky says in the chat, Sony says winning over Microsoft by promising nothing and delivering it. I mean, the State of Play has been a shit product for years now. Like I think let's just rebrand it at this point and do something different. Take a page out of Microsoft's book, do the underscore directs, fucking spend 15 grand filming a documentary. It probably costs a lot more than that. On a
I
few
guess,
games.
but what's their problem? Like, why do they keep on screwing the pooch here? Like, why is Microsoft capable of doing it? Why is
Sure.
Nintendo capable of doing it time and time again? What the fuck is wrong with them? It's
I mean,
so baffling.
To me, it's kind of like the Pokemon problem, where things keep selling, they keep being better than Microsoft from a sales standpoint. So it's like, okay, we're just gonna keep
I guess. I
what
mean,
we feel like is good enough because it's doing enough.
the PlayStation 5 is losing abysmally to the fucking Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 in Japan, which
Well,
is mind-boggling. And I understand that it's a little apples to oranges with the console generations these days and whatnot, but like things aren't great there. They just put out a bundle today that incentivizes buying a Japanese language only console for a fucking discounted rate to try to get some market share back, which is wild and unheard of. And still they release this, half-hearted PlayStation State of Play, like someone had a gun to their head off screen, like you better have 40 minutes of shit. And they're
sure.
like, "What fucking Katamari DLC, Namco, please, like, please, we need to fill 30 seconds." But it's really fucking bizarre. And I think what stings the most is that this is the company that, towards the end of the E3 era, were the fucking undisputed kings.
Yeah.
Like that
Heavyweights.
E3, that E3 2016 or whatever or 15 with the God of War reveal, and
Yeah.
even like the last E3, the 2018 with, man, the format was bad, but it's the one that started inside the tent that was a recreation of the fucking scene from The Last of Us 2,
One of the
which is so
best.
fucking sick.
I thought that was so fucking cool. Like, and yeah, the presentation wasn't great because there'd be these like 15-minute intermissions, but
Yeah.
those individual presentations were all so fucking good.
Yeah, super strong. And like Sean Layden up there alley-ooping everybody, announcing new stuff that you were excited for. The roster was absolutely incredible. And it's just, I don't know, maybe you can chalk it up to like these long development cycles and not wanting to overpromise and underdeliver or something like that. But it's always seemed like, okay, well, surely they'll turn the page sometime soon. Surely they'll turn the page sometime soon. Like at this point, you go back and listen to us break down state of plays for the last 3 years, it's just us having this
It's never
conversation.
good.
It's just us having this conversation over and over. We should fucking record one and then leave little blank spaces for the dates and the names of games, and then insert
That's
it every
very
time there's a
funny.
state of play.
I'm willing to bet that part of it is like, what's the word I'm looking for? Just like poorly run on the business side. And like, because, to be in a state of play, they have to pay. They have to go to Sony and say, I don't know the numbers, but they're probably pretty big. Marvel Fighting Souls, Tokon says, hey, Sony, here's $150,000 for us to have 5 minutes of this thing that's going to get 60 million views or whatever. And I wonder if that's part of it, of like the economy that they have created is bad.
Yeah.
And so then people like Resident Evil 9, that's a bad example because we see Resident Evil 9 all the time, but they're like, okay, why are we going to give you this money when the return is going to be people shitting on the product because the state of play is bad? So I think that might be part of it.
I think it's similar to the Keeley thing though, because I think to a certain extent, depending on what you have, they know behind the scenes, they know what's going to be a banger and what is an advertisement, right? So if like Capcom comes to them and they say, we want to show Onimusha in Monster Hunter DLC, and they go, that'll be $250,000. And they say, but what if we also showed Resident Evil 9, and they said that'll be $50,000. Like, we just knocked $200,000 off the fucking price because you're bringing us something that benefits our show to make it more banging.
Sure.
And then you also have the first party asterisk of like Marvel Tokon's not paying anything because that's a PlayStation published thing, and they want that to fucking make them money type of thing. But I think that I don't know. I don't have anything like new or novel to say, but I do think that a lot of what is like, I don't want to say like victimizing, but what is taking away from these is their shitty deals that they are making behind the scenes with their games that involve marketing. And it's the same thing of like timed platform exclusivity shit that's been going on for a long time, like how some years Call of Duty is bundled with this console, or a third party game is bundled on with the PS5. There are weird things where like in 2021 2K Games and PlayStation signed a deal that said Borderlands 4 promotional stuff will have like a 2-second PS5 stinger at the end, and it will also appear in no less than 5 PlayStation State of Play shows. And then what you have is this oversaturation of seeing the same shit over and over and over again. Same deal with fucking Capcom, where like Monster Hunter Wilds big PlayStation announcement, anchor all that shit around this whole thing. But then it's that point of like, oh my god, we've seen Monster Hunter Wilds in every State of Play for the last 2 years. Release your fucking game.
Yeah.
It's bad.
So essentially what I'm hearing is that we need to organize the video game version of the Camp David Accords. Bring together the big 3 and have them make a deal agreeing with each other that they're going to slash prices to lift all boats in the video game economy of showcases. Is that what I'm hearing?
It's the only way. There's only one person that can make this happen. Jeff Keighley.
Yeah, I fear it's Jeff Keighley. I wish it were us, but I fear it's Jeff Keighley.
Correct.
The Game Awards this December. Other things in the news spotlight, other headlines to discuss. After a year in beta, Jake, cloud streaming officially arrives on PlayStation Portal. Players can now stream certain digital games from their own library. If you didn't know, the PlayStation Portal, you could either remote play or you could just stream whatever's in their stream library, which whether you own it or not, it's 70 games, whatever. Sometimes a game will launch on it, like a Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, or a Blueprints, but otherwise, like if I had Yote but it wasn't in that library, I couldn't stream it, but now I can. And it's not every game, but it's most games that you own you can now stream directly on your Portal and not need your PlayStation 5, which I think isn't getting enough buzz. I think this is a very big deal, and I think that it's the kind we were talking about it a little bit in our Discord, which you can join by going to dropinDropoutPod.com. It is a very high cost of entry to get a PlayStation 5, a PlayStation Portal, and also the level of PlayStation Plus that lets you do this. But if you are listening to a video game podcast, it's likely that you have at least one or two of those 3 things. And so it's like, I feel like this is, for the us's of the world, this is a huge upgrade to the PlayStation Portal. I tried it a little bit earlier because Cayman had texted me, our sweet dumpster boy. He was like, have you tried this yet? And I was like, oh shit, no, I haven't. He was like, it's actually pretty fucking solid. I played like 30 minutes of Yote and it was like, great. Like,
yeah.
As long as the internet connection was good, which in my apartment, it's passable. It's like, fuck, this is like, as long as I'm, anywhere, it's not going to work at an airport, I'm sure, but I'm excited to try this out in the world and see how this goes. Because you're not a Portal owner, right, Jake?
No, I don't have a use for it, but it's an interesting one because technically now, even with everything that you said, as far as like needing a PS5, needing a PlayStation Portal, needing that subscription, technically all you need is $200 and a free trial of PlayStation Plus to start playing PlayStation 5 games at home at this point.
True.
Like,
yeah.
It's the lowest opportunity that the cheapest opportunity that you have is to be an exclusively cloud playing machine on what is a pretty classy fucking device.
That's a very good point.
The only problem is that I would argue that most people that would be interested in playing PlayStation 5 games at this point are probably in tune enough to either have one or have plans to get one, and the Portal would not fit their gaming needs. So you start to think of like, okay, maybe it's like the younger generation, it's the Switch Lite customer. But I fear that customer doesn't exactly exist for PlayStation very often because those fuckers are playing on iPads and on phones, like the mobile gamers. Man, I'm so scared of like, well, the future for many reasons, but like, I feel like in 20 years, man, it like maybe even less. Like just like games as we know them won't exist, platforms as we know them aren't going to exist. Like controllers won't be used. Like it's going to be fucking weird as that younger generation comes up and the money is not being spent on games the way that we used to spend money on games.
Sure.
We're going to lose a lot of what we used to like about video games.
Well, it won't matter because the water wars will have begun. We'll all be living in the desert. We'll all have paint all over our bodies. It'll be a different world, Jake. It'll be Mad Max, is what I'm saying.
Perfect.
But you're going to be the guitar guy on the front of the...
Ooh, yeah.
Do you play any instruments, Jake?
Perfect. Yeah, well, I used to. I played the violin growing up.
Whoa, violin, Jake.
Orchestra. Yeah, I was in the orchestra until I was in like 7th grade, and then in 7th grade, all of the band, instead of just the strings, opened up to us in our public school system.
Nice.
And I said, I play drums now.
I think I play drums now.
Rudimentary knowledge of playing drums. Sure. But yeah, no, not really. If I had to, do you?
No, I there was a point in my life as an adult that I started learning guitar and I got okay at guitar, but I realized I was too old. And I was like, this is not sticking enough for me. And it's, I can't learn the language. And so I gave up, but you know, I have my instrument right here, Jake.
Right.
Voice.
I forgot that I also had a phase where I played a little bit of guitar. Do you want to guess why?
A woman.
Wrong. Women, plural.
There we go. Not one, but that's fine. Rabbit in the chat. Never had a single lesson. I don't know what you're referring to, but I'm glad you're here. A couple other news stories before we get going. Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra has received another delay, quote, beyond early 2026. This game, cooked.
Bro, that studio cooked.
Yeah.
Game likely canceled. Studio likely closed. Fucking Amy Hennig strikes again, bro.
What is going on? How is it happening again?
We're collecting paychecks and moving on. She already left the company.
Did she
that
really?
She founded. Yeah.
I don't remember that happening. That must have been big news.
I'm pretty sure she did.
You're thinking of Jade Raymond. Jade Raymond left.
Oh, fuck.
That company.
That's doing the Iron Man game, right?
Yes.
Motive?
Yes.
Is that her?
Wait. She was at Motive. Hold on. Jade Raymond.
You know where else Jade Raymond was? Fucking Stadia.
Yeah.
Bag secured. Oh yeah, Jade Raymond's Fair Games, dude. Isn't it?
Yeah, and she left that studio.
And she left that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That place is doomed. I got them mixed up.
Yeah, she left May of this year. Yeah. Anyway, this game is fucked. This game is fucked. And
sure.
It was the kind of thing where, like, when they showed us the game, it already didn't look real. Like, it looked too good to be true. And now that it's not even, they're not even giving it a window other than beyond early 2026, because that was, I guess, the most recent window we had. It's like, oh man, that I don't know that we're going to see this until at least 27. And by then it's like, is the funding even going to be there anymore? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a fucking mess. It seems like the only people that can do these Marvel games right these days is Insomniac. Like the ill-fated Avengers game, which I thought might have legs, was an absolute abomination.
Yeah.
You do have Motive is still allegedly working on that Iron Man game that they've been working on for approximately 25 years. And then you have, you know, Marvel 1943, which I feel like I remember that game getting announced in like 2021 at like the first and only Disney gaming show. Do you remember that?
Oh God, I do remember that. Let's see.
Blessing Adeoye Jr. hosted it. Crazy.
Let's see. It was announced. I'm on their Wikipedia now. It was announced in October 2021.
Crazy.
It doesn't say where it was announced, but it was in a showcase of some kind. But yeah, 4 years and no idea when it's coming. I don't know. Not good.
Yeah. It is the.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Marvel and Disney showcase from D23 Expo. Yep.
How about that? Speaking of games that aren't anywhere near coming out, the Elder Scrolls 6, Todd Howard on record saying it's still a long way off, and it will be the next Bethesda Studios game, but
Bethesda works.
When do you think we see Elder Scrolls 6 again?
I thought I was going through predictions for last year. Or no, I'm sorry. Predictions for this year's like summer game expo time frame, where I asked you guys all questions that I had like pre-written, which is similar to what we're doing in 2 days on Drop In Drop Out, but for the Game Awards. And one of the things that I had asked was, do you guys think that we're going to get a subtitle for Elder Scrolls 6? And a bunch of you guys guessed yes, including me. I said yes as well. So I thought we'd already have this shit. Wow. I don't know what to make of it. Do you remember the term that I used because I had like a little image for them? So I made a Skyrim or like a Skyrim-esque logo. It was like the Elder Scrolls VI. And on the bottom it had a word. I made up a word.
I don't remember this.
I think the Elder Scrolls 6 glitter fuck.
I bet that is gonna be it. Jake, are you a Phil Collins fan?
Yeah, for sure.
Are you a fan of his song Ba-Ba-Thudio?
I don't know.
That wasn't a very good one. It was a mix on Susudio with Bathudio. I like it. Word I made up.
It's very good.
Speaking of music, though, thank you, Rabbit. Mm-hmm. Your Game of the Year, Clair Obscur, snubbed in the Grammy Video Game Soundtrack nominations. But here's the thing: I actually don't care to talk about Clair Obscur here. I do want to mention though that the games that were nominated were Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora DLC, Helldivers 2, Star Wars Outlaws DLC, Sword of the Sea, and Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. So not only was Clair Obscur snubbed in the video game Grammys, so was Mario Kart World, so was Hades 2.
Oof.
Death Stranding 2, like
it must have been
one game on that list maybe deserves to be on that list. And it's Sword of the Sea, because the music in that game is very good. But I don't know, man.
Indie, I'm going to give them some fucking credit. I think Indie, Star Wars, and Avatar all bring the funk in addition to the noise for their soundtrack. However, it's obviously that good because a lot of it is like working off of established sounds that are pulling at your heartstrings.
Yeah, I guess. And Silksong not on there, Rabbit. That's a good point. Silksong, even though I'm not a fan, I do know that the music is very loved. So yeah, I don't know. It's bullshit. Anyway, tomorrow morning, Super Mario Galaxy, the movie, getting a direct. So how about that?
I'm excited.
Do you think we're gonna see
Chris Pratt's penis?
I almost said Rosalina's tits for some reason.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I think we're like mentally connected because I was also thinking about seeing Rosalina's tits.
How about that? I am excited to see this direct and see what this movie is looking like because I loved the first one.
Did you see the poster? It's pretty good. So like the direct thing is a really weird 16:9 image where like the left 2/3 is just a black screen that says like Super Mario Brothers movie director, and the right is like your standard poster, and it's just like this night sky with like presumably where Luma's dropping down, kind of those like or those galaxy star orb fragments, and a bunch of toads that are in like sailboats on the night sky on the water, and each of the toads is like, if you look closely at the high def image, they're all kind of like unique. Like there's like a chef toad, and there's this one toad who is wearing Mario pajamas. It's the cutest thing in the fucking world.
Oh fuck! I fear I need Mario pajamas now. Um,
Correct.
are you gonna be live reacting to that? You must be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Well, the last thing I have on here, Jake, is there's another excuse for us to go to Japan together. Can you guess why?
Pokemon Park.
Pokemon Park coming next year. Poke Park Kanto coming in to Tokyo in February of 2026. So just saying we can have a cute little trip.
I can't make it, but maybe next time.
Okay. That is our show. What a full fucking string of
That's a lot of
news to
news.
talk about. And there were things I didn't add because I was like, okay, I gotta cut it off at some point. Otherwise, we'll be here until tomorrow, brother.
So true.
But Jake, what a lovely time. Here's what I'll say. I miss our sweet dumpster boy. I wish him well. I do expect him to be back next week, and it'll be nice to be held in his arms again. But it's always nice to talk about the news with the homie Jake Twitchin.
Likewise, homie. A pleasure.
On. Always a pleasure. The pleasure is Swanky Joinkers. He says, I can't believe Patrick didn't address his nudes leaking. I mean, what is there to address? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the chat for being here. Shout out to you, Jake Twitchin, for being here. If you liked what you heard, give us a follow, give us a like, give us a subscribe. And if you want more from us outside of just news conversations, why don't you go to dropindropoutpod.com. I talked about it at the top of the show. But in case you weren't here or you weren't listening, we have all sorts of shows all over the internet. We got a book club on Mondays with the J Games podcast. We have this show on Tuesdays talking about video game news. On Thursdays, we do all sorts of things with Drop In, Drop Out Pod. We review games. We have evergreen conversations about the industry. We make predictions. We react to things. All sorts of fun video game content is in the works over there every day of the week. It's essentially. Later this week, we have a Cognitive Clips video essay on Saturday coming out all about Metroid Prime, the timeline, Jake. So all sorts of fun things. We will be back next week right here on twitch.tv/SpotlightGamesPod for the biggest news in the video game industry. But until then, Jake, I hope when you go to sleep tonight, you dream of me and only me. But until then, goodbye.